Hello lovely people, welcome back to the Psychic General's Predictions channel. In this video, I'm going to be giving you my February 2026 psychic predictions for the world. Before I even start with the prediction, I already told you guys that a war is coming and I have the full gist of the war and how it's going to actually turn up. So I'm going to put that in my part 2 of this video. I'm going to name this as part 1 because I have a lot of predictions to give about the world in February. We'll do a part 2 of this video and I will include the details of the war that I told you that is coming and how it's going to be turning up and what is events you have to be looking for before it actually happens, and you know for a fact that this is actually going to be the one that is going to trigger it to happen. So let's get into the first predictions for February of 2026. First of all, I'm picking up something in terms of Donald Trump and Congress that is going to clash about or over some immigration issue. So the president, that is Donald Trump, will push a new immigration rule, but Congress is going to like kind of block part of it. After they block actually part of it, I'm seeing that there's going to be like a lawsuit that is going to be filed in the Supreme Court. And whilst the issue is going to be the lawsuit is going to be filed in the Supreme Court, I'm seeing like border states will argue publicly and immigration becomes like the main election topic that is going to be going into the 2026 elections that is going to be happening. I'm also picking something for California and Texas. I'm seeing that California and Texas are going to be fighting over like federal funding, where California governor and then Texas governor will actually, I think the California governor is Gavin, and then the Texas governor is Greg. They will argue about federal money or federal funding, where the media will actually have a name for it, but Congress will debate about budget changes, and other states will actually pick side on the fight against, the California and Texas. I'm also picking something for Prince William. I'm seeing that Prince William will take on more leadership role. Like I have this prediction, I predicted this a long time ago, that Prince William will take more public leadership duties while King Charles will appear less in public. I know that this has actually started coming up, and I made this prediction already, and we will see Prince William meets like world leaders and the media will talk about it. And this is going to be like they will talk about like a soft transition of power or something like that in that regards. And this is something that I see happening. I'm also seeing that Emmanuel Macron will give like a serious national speech. And I've made this prediction already that, the president Emmanuel Macron will warn France about economic limits. I'm saying that, the French market is going to actually be reacting nervously to the speech that Emmanuel Macron will be giving. And then people in France will actually protest about rising cost, and the opposition will like the opposition party will gain like massive support through this economic thing that is going on, and then the cost of living in France as at the moment. I'm also picking something up that like Germany's coalition government will struggle to agree on new policies. I'm seeing that the German leader will argue on television. They are going to be arguing on television, and some voters will be calling for like early elections in Germany. That's something that I'm seeing happening. And I'm also seeing that the German market will also feel very uncertain at this period in terms of in February of 2026. This is something that I'm kind of picking up that is going to be happening. I'm also picking that Vladimir Putin will face like internal pressure. I don't know how it is that there's going to be internal pressure where Vladimir Putin will actually face like quiet pressure from inside of Russia. And I'm seeing that the elites, like the Russia elites, will argue behind the scenes, and there's going to be like different talks or different rumors of like power struggles within, within the Russia government, or something that will be spreading on social media, that there's struggles happening in the Russia government. I'm also seeing that Taiwan military drill will escalate, where China will run like large military drills near Taiwan. I made a prediction like that before, that this will make the US Navy like send ships into Taiwan, and then Taiwan will also raise their defense alert, and then the world is going to be panicking. There's going to be panic, and then there's going to be discussion about if, a fear of a war that is going to be happening based on this incident that is happening, but that is not going to be the war that is going to be happening. I'm also picking up that the Brazilian president will face like corruption claims. I know the Brazilian president is like Luis Lula da Silva or something like that of Brazil, will face like corruption accusations, and then I'm seeing that this will cause like protests in Sao Paulo and some Brasilia or something like that in those regions. And then I'm seeing that Congress will actually open like investigation on the Brazilian president, and all this going on will cause their currency to actually weaken in Brazil. This is something that I'm picking up. I'm also picking up something in terms of the Gaza peace deal that is going to be weakening. The Gaza peace deal will weaken. I'm seeing that any peace deal in Gaza will weaken again. And like I told you guys before, that unless the peace deal involves Saudi Arabia, but if it doesn't, I'm seeing that it's going to be weakening again, where I see that small like kind of clashes will return, where global leaders will call for emergency talks, and I'm seeing that we are going to be seeing like protests happening again in Europe, and also happening in the United States as well. I'm also seeing that there's going to be like a meeting. I don't know if it is the United Nations will have like emergency meeting. There's going to be an emergency meeting where the United Nations will hold like a big meetings about like AI or artificial intelligence laws. And then I'm seeing that the United States, China, and also Europe will actually argue about it. And I'm seeing that there's going to be like a new AI safety rule or rules that are going to be proposed during those meetings, or during this back and forth that is going to be going on. That is something that I see happening. So the entertainment industry will also experience like a shocking revelation when like a beloved actor, I'm seeing Pedro, I think maybe Pedro Pascal, that's the name that came in mind at the moment, will be stepping back from a long running like streaming series. And I'm seeing that he's going to step back in mid-season of this streaming season, a streaming series that is going to go on. He's going to explain as if he has is for personal and spiritual reasons, or he wants to have a spiritual reset, not a conflict. But I'm seeing that social media will react strongly, and like other actors will begin to speak openly about burnout within filming, and then pressure, and also mental health kind of entertainment industry. That is something that I'm seeing happening. I'm also picking up that there's going to be an unexpected collaboration. When I was picking this up, I had 4 names, but I picked strongly like Taylor Swift, and then another person like it is called Bad Benny, and like that Bad Benny or something. There's going to be that cooperation, and I'm seeing that they will see it as impossible. I know that we saw it as impossible months ago, but this is going to resurface again, and there's going to be a real collaboration, and this is going to generate massive buzz on streaming platform and social media. The announcement will only break engagement records online, and I see that happening, and fans will be shocked, but the early reactions will be extremely positive, and I see this happening. The other one that I picked up was for Eddie Sheeran of, I think is New Zealand, and someone in America. The name did not come through. That is why I didn't talk about that one, but I saw that there's a collaboration as well from a musician from I see New Zealand also happening. I'm also picking something up for like a significant diplomatic breakthrough that will occur between like Turkey, or like we call it Turkey in olden times, but it's called Turkey now, and Greece. And I'm seeing like a natural disaster will force humanitarian cooperation, and then there's going to be they are going to reopen talks that has been kind of stalled for years. This is not going to be like a breakthrough to kind of solve any conflict between these two countries, but it's going to be an open door that many believe had been permanently closed. This is something that I'm picking happening. I'm also seeing that there's going to be like a major archaeological discovery in Iraq. I'm seeing Iraq. First, when I was picking up on this, I thought it's going to be something like Egypt or something, but I'm seeing Iraq, like near an ancient site. The artifact that is going to be found will actually challenge previously accepted historical timeline. I'm seeing that going to be happening, and this is going to spark a lot of debates among historians worldwide. This is something that I'm seeing, and it's going to pick up on the news. There's going to be like, questions about, interpretation of the findings and what they reveal about, ancient civilization and stuff like that. This is going to be a huge topic on social media, and this is something, and I see that this is going to be found in Iraq. I'm also picking up something in terms of IBM will have an announcement of a significant advancement in quantum computing. This is something that I'm seeing happening, that while this is not going to be like a fully commercial announcement yet, it is going to bring out, like, let's say, a worldwide, hope, or some closeness of hope, or it's going to generate like an excitement throughout the world. This is something that I'm seeing, or throughout the tech industry as a whole. I'm seeing like a space exploration by SpaceX will actually capture global attention when they announce like a successful testing of technology that could be dramatically reduce, or that could dramatically reduce, look, like the travel time in terms of Mars, or to Mars, or something like that. And this is going to reignite like public excitement and something like that. This is something that I'm seeing that there's going to be announcing. I'm seeing that there's going to be like a concern spike in respirational infection that is going to be reported across United States. I'm seeing Canada and like parts of Germany. I'm seeing that hospitals will feel pressured, and then they are going to prompt like public health officials to actually urge protective measures, or to put protective measures in place. This respiratory infection is not going to reach like pandemic levels. No, it's not going to reach pandemic levels, but the health sector will actually have like internal decisions to prepare for this in the near future. If any of this is going to be happening in the near future, that is something that I'm seeing happening. I'm also picking something up for Binance Coin, right? Binance Coin will face like serious scrutiny when, regulatory authorities in the United States and Europe will announce investigation into its operation and trading practices. This is something that I'm seeing. The news will actually kind of cause like a sharp price swings. I'm seeing that happening, where some investors will actually kind of pull out, while others will see the dip as like a buying opportunity for Binance Coin. This is something that I'm picking up at the moment. I'm also picking up that there's going to be like an unexpected corporate merge, right? That is going to be announced between, I'm seeing Disney and I'm seeing Electronic Arts, that they are going to be merged. I'm seeing that the deal, which has, been quietly negotiated for months, will come to a close, where this is going to shock, competitors, and analysis will actually see this company as rivals rather than, potential partners. But the announcement will actually trigger like immediate speculation about how this consolidation will actually affect jobs, prices, and the market competition. I'm also picking like an unusual heavy rainfalls will trigger flooding in parts of California. I'm seeing areas like I'm seeing like Santa Barbara. I'm picking that name, Santa Barbara. And then there is another city. It just flashed in my eyes, but I couldn't pick up. But I know it started with an M, where like wildfire damages has weakened the area before, or something like that. And then I'm seeing that emergency services will respond to multiple incidents, and then the events will renew discussions about, land management and practices and other things like that. That is going to be affecting, fire and then the flood circles in this region. That's what I'm picking up happening. This will be the end of the part one of my February 2026 psychic predictions for the world. If you're new to the channel, kindly like, subscribe, and also don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you can get notified when I post similar videos like this. On Monday, I'm going to be posting the part 2 of the February 2026 psychic predictions, and I'll also give you the details of the World War III and the things that you have to look at before the World War III actually happens. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video.